Huh?
That sounds about right.
All right. Some of the guys you listen to growing up will eventually be 65 as well, you know.
Yeah.
Waka Flocka will be 65 someday. And
I don't know about that.
All right, there goes that bit. Bravo. We got Kevin Poll+, outside the studio.
We don't make our friends wait.
That's right.
We don't make our friends wait.
I finally saw his movie yesterday afternoon, actually. I saw the whole movie on my phone, too. I don't know if that's the proper way to see this thing.
Governor! Oh, sorry, I'm just practicing.
Kevin Poll+.
How are you, fellas?
How are you?
I'm very well.
I got allergies.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe a cold, though, so let's just say, let's wave today.
Yeah, how about it?
I know we like hugging it out. Yeah, I finally saw your movie yesterday, but I saw the whole thing on my Samsung phone. Is that the proper way to see your film?
No.
You put a lot of effort into making it look good.
You know what? I was going to be funny and say, of course, it's the best way to see it. It's the only way to see it.
Honestly?
But the answer is actually no.
Honestly, it looked great on my phone.
Well, that's because you have a good phone. No, you know, however you watch the thing, I'm thrilled that you watched it.
Right.
It's mostly people talking, though, so it's not as bad because it's not like there's high action sequences. Like, as long as you can hear the content, I think you're okay.
I had no problem with it. Yeah. It was great.
No,
I'm going to start watching more stuff like...
See it with an audience. That's the only thing I would...
Well, then
I know that's hard for you.
Well, you gave us a link.
I did. I thought you'd invite some people over. No, I'm kidding.
Can I spread that link around?
Let me think. No. Jesus. How about
Just family
How about going
members.
to iTunes? Have people over the house. I'm telling you, it's going to be played better with people. Can you be objective watching yourselves?
No, I just watched it. I only saw my own parts to make sure I didn't sound humiliating.
Right.
So if I'm doing that Q&A tonight.
Are you okay with it?
Yeah, it was really well done, man.
Okay.
I watched a little bit of Amy, a little bit of Lewis, a little Tom Hanks. It was very good.
Thanks.
But it wasn't even to be self-obsessed. It was like, did I make a fool out of myself because I have to sit in front of an audience after?
Yes, you do.
I've never done a Q&A.
Maybe we can get Opie to come out tonight.
No.
He's not
That doesn't feel right.
No, I got... what? You're just looking at your phone. No.
He's going to watch the movie again.
No, I want to read the text message that I sent to Kevin Poll+ to show how genuine I am about this.
You are, and I really appreciate it.
Great job on the movie, my friend.
My friend.
I feel like we're friends.
Yes.
And you are too kind to include me.
How is it?
You truly are, because I'm not a stand-up comedian.
You got your own moment.
I did.
Yeah.
I got to...
You're in there a couple times.
You put me in your movie more than Chris Rock put me in top 5.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm in focus. I wasn't in focus in Chris Rock's movie.
That's Chris's loss.
You hear me and you see something blurry in the background.
Yeah.
No, that was very kind of you, because it's mostly stand-ups in this movie. We were we were discussing Tom Hanks. He did a lot of stand-up to get ready for Punchline.
Yes.
So
that was his experience.
He doesn't understand that world as much as, let's say, Jim Norton, but he certainly went down that road for a while.
He's done it, yeah. I didn't realize that.
He only experienced it for a very brief time, but it was enough to freak him out.
Did you
could tell that.
Yeah.
You know, by what he says in the film.
Right.
Also, just to get him to talk about living in self-loathing darkness, that was the thing, was to reveal as much as possible about any of these people, and in your case, Opie, just to say what a genuine effect Sam Kinison had on your entire career choice. I mean, that's...
I'm not comparing myself to Sam Kinison.
No, there was no comparison.
In any way, but the story goes...
He opened your eyes.
Yes, I was in Rochester. Brother Weeze opened my eyes as well. But then one day I was fortunate enough to be in the studio for like 2 or 3 straight days when Kinison came in to hang out with Weeze, because they were old friends at the time. And I watched Kinison work that mic and went, what the fuck am I doing trying to come up with a radio voice and a nice tone and say just nice things. And I threw everything I knew about radio out that day. And then it took a whole fucking bunch of years to try to, find my own voice. But I knew that day that I was like, wow, you could do this differently.
Yeah.
So,
and that's...
Did you have a moment like that with stand-up, Jimmy?
Just as a kid, I mean, like I've always said it was prior, but it was you didn't know what to do with being funny. Like, yeah, you're funny, you make people laugh. It's like, where does it go? And then I remember almost the moment of watching with my mother and father. Like,
these are both the moments, by the way, they speak about in the film.
Oh, we do talk about. I didn't remember. Did I talk about that?
No, that's exactly what you say in the. No, please. It's a great little teaser, as if I were playing clips.
Watching him move and like watching the audience, the physical response of the audience was because I had seen Rodney on The Tonight Show or Robert Klein. I love those guys, but to see the audience rocking,
lose their shit.
Yeah, it was like you're fucking punching the audience. It was a really physically interactive thing.
Yeah, so, right on.
I think I said it better just now, though.
I think you did. So if there's any way we could put that in the movie,
maybe for the DVD.
Well, look, you were in an uncomfortable apartment.
That was, I was thinking. I was thinking at the time. I'm like, what a weird. Let's call it a set, I guess. A weird set.
Yeah.
But on film, it looks awesome,
it was
right?
Norman Bates' house. We shot it.
Right.
Yeah, you guys walked in thinking whose grandmother died.
It's an old lady's apartment. That's what we were joking about that day.
Yeah.
But it looks great on film.
Yeah, the cinematographer actually did a really good job of getting me whatever. We shot on as many locations as we could around town. We were here for a week, in L.A. for 3 weeks, and fairly well.
How many hours?
To choose from?
Yes.
That's 70. Almost 70.
All right, because
that's probably too long for.
Because
technically,
I was watching the film thinking about how many fucking hours does he have to look at to try to put this whole damn thing
10
together.
months to
70 hours to get it 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if not for the Sundance Film Festival deadline, where you have to have a lock print, that's the only thing they'll accept, I would still be editing.
Really?
Because there was no correct answer. There was no correct way to do it. It's just the one that they ultimately said you have to stop.
So what are you going to do with the rest of the footage? Is there anything you could do with it?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's a ton of stuff you're like,
well, I'm certainly
I can't believe I can't put this.
I'm certainly going to package the footage with the three of you and just sell that.
No, what you should do is you should take outtakes and make another one called "Comedians Are Happy," and then just take happy shit people have said in the interviews and do the complete opposite documentary.
Miserable schmiserable.
Yeah, exactly. Comics are fun, and then just show
Yeah.
I feel like there's something there with that. With that 70 hours.
Yeah, there's a lot of conversations.
You got a lot of big names in this film there. Kevin Poll+.
And Amy is good. You got Amy too, because she was big then, but now she's fucking.
Oh no, she was on the cover of Entertainment Weekly then.
That's right. Yeah, she's gone through the roof. Is she one of Times 100?
Huh?
Yeah, she's one of Times 100 this year.
Yes.
I think Tilda Swinton wrote something.
And she won a Peabody.
For what, the show?
Peabody Award, I think. I was reading the other day. She's blowing up.
Oh, she said that at the premiere. I didn't know I thought she was kidding. I wasn't sure if she was.
I found out about her on this show. This is how I discovered her, right here.
Did you?
Yeah, big time. I think a lot of the country did as well. This was the jumping off point.
Did she really fall?
Ground zero.
Oh my God, does that make me happy?
I think it was a joke, though. It was on purpose.
Oh, fuck it.
That'd be nice.
Oh, wow. What was I going to say about the movie? So I saw it on my phone. I enjoyed it.
That's on the one sheet, by the way.
There was something. There was something.
Already put that in the press.
Oh, Jim Jeffries moved me.
Good.
He got pretty damn serious.
Yeah.
About raising a kid and stuff.
Yes, he was.
I don't want to give that away.
He's amazing author. He give anything away. I don't care.
But he moved me with what he said in the film.
Yeah, he also says one of the funniest things in the movie, and then one of the most moving, and then. There were certain people. First of all, with 70 hours and 60-something comedian and famous people to choose from, it was nearly impossible to give anyone a right amount of time. And then there were a few people like him who I just kept going back to because it turned out once the chapters were created. Because, when I first sat down, there was no story. There was no narrative.
Right.
It was just talking heads.
Right.
Now what?
Right. Now you got to shape it into something.
Right. And that was the most difficult, ridiculous thing. And so once the chapters took place, then I had to, who's fueling these chapters along? And he just kept nailing certain shit all the way down to the end when he says, I don't think you have to be miserable to be funny, but I think you have to be miserable to be really funny.
Right.
Even that little tiny beat was, oh, okay. Well, then you just said
what
it.
he said about raising a kid, like, holy fuck.
Yeah, that must have just grabbed you in the heart.
What did he say? I don't want to say this. He basically said you raise your kid to the point where he doesn't need you anymore. and then you did your job, and then you hope that he comes back and visits you from time to time. I'm like, wow.
Was he Harry Chapin? That's insane. Yes. And then there's these 30,000 pounds of bananas that had nowhere to go. And
obviously, his show was being canceled when you were filming him because he was in a dark, sad place.
Well, yeah, he's got one of the funniest beats when he's talking about the basketball spinning unicycle family.
Right.
That fucking killed me. And I said, is that a bit from your act? He said, no. And then when I was editing, I called him and said, if this wasn't a bit from your act, you should be doing it as a bit because it's a standalone bit. And he said, no, it's in your movie. That's fine.
I really enjoyed it.
Thanks, man.
I'm happy for you. Misery Loves Comedy.
It's on the iTunes. Yeah.
Is it going to be in theaters?
Yes. It opens Friday here in New York and the following weekend in Los Angeles and about 8 or 9 different cities, and eventually about, I think, 17.
So why do you guys release this stuff on iTunes ahead of time? Because most of us would rather see these movies in our house at this point.
Well, that's the truth. It's they dropped Amazon Video on Demand and iTunes within the same day, midweek last week, and it went kind of nuts. I mean, we shot to #1 on iTunes documentaries, which was
I saw you tweet
nice,
that.
You know, it's a good thing.
But you don't care about the numbers in theaters?
Well, I think they do. Of course, they care, but I watch documentaries on my big television.
I don't think I've ever seen a documentary in a movie theater.
Right?
I think I've only seen them on my on the TV. I don't think I've ever actually gone to a theater.
And now more than ever, because they're all over. Whether it's
we got the artsy theaters. I've seen a bunch of documentaries in those artsy theaters.
Right.
Sam, where do you watch documentaries?
On my TV.
Okay, cool.
That's America.
Yeah.
So I guess Rich Voss has a problem with you. Sam still has a problem with you. We're going to work things out today.
Whatever you want to do. It started as a bit, now it seems to be a thing.
Voss was taking shots at you last night. And
Twitter told me all about that.
And then he's yelling at me and Jimmy like we have to, stick up for him. And I'm like, well, you come in here and talk to Kevin.
We were going to get
both
Voss on the phone this morning.
I didn't realize there was something to talk about. Yeah. I mean, at its core, if it's a matter of I don't like you, you don't like me, who gives a shit?
You don't like Rich?
I don't know him, so how could I not like him or like him?
I think you're wrong about his
voice.
Yeah, I really do.
Okay, well,
you don't like hearing.
There's no right or wrong. I mean, if somebody's voice is annoying, which is all I think I ever really said.
Right.
I never talked about his act, I don't think. Right. And certainly didn't talk about it as a person because I don't know him.
You listen to a lot of radio, right?
I listen to this show.
Thank you.
Sure.
Appreciate that.
Well, you knew that.
I find, I find the guys that have shitty voices are way more interesting.
Okay.
Over the years. Like my mentors, Brother Weeze, I'll say it every fucking day. That guy taught me how to do this.
Right.
And his voice is horrendous.
Yeah, Howard Cosell's voice certainly was ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
The guys with the golden, what do they used to call them? Not golden voice, golden throats.
Golden buns?
Golden buns.
Golden cock. I think golden cock is what they...
I mean, it's impressive to hear on the radio for about 30 seconds, then you're like, wow, this guy has an amazing voice, but he's saying nothing of interest. Nothing whatsoever.
So what is it about Voss? Is it just the voice? Is it or the content?
But again, it's all I ever really said was that, the sound of his voice, I want to leave here today with no guilt because Rich put us in his movie. You put us in your movie. So
you got me in a lot more than he did, though. You showed me much more loyalty than Voss.
Or maybe anyone, but it's not important.
And we like both of you, so we're trying to figure out a way around this.
Whatever. I mean, honestly,
what is it about Voss? Is it just the voice?
That's all I've ever said, was that the sound of his voice is not pleasing to me. Who gives a shit? I know the fact that it annoyed him as much as it did, quite frankly, is startling to me.
I think he's also a little jealous that he wasn't in your movie.
Well, I don't know. I reached out to people I knew. Right. Honestly.
Right.
Those are the people in the movie.
But do you think Voss is a funny guy? You've heard him on the radio.
I've not seen his act, ever. He thrills audiences the world over. Who gives a shit what I think? that honestly, I'm not trying to dig myself out of a hole because I don't feel like I'm in one. I said the guy's voice was annoying, and I'm not going to apologize, and B, I'm not going to defend it, nor am I going to backtrack. I'm just going to fall back on who gives a shit.
Do you think? Have you ever? But it's good to have clarity, just so because he might be getting mad.
Couldn't be more clear, Jimmy.
No, but I mean,
I still don't like the sound of his voice. But again, who gives a shit?
But on the radio, do you think he's a funny guy? Because Voss may think you're saying something you're not saying.
Right.
Oh, no, I really am just saying it's the sound of his voice. You know, sometimes there are actors or actresses where their work, their abilities have nothing to do with how you feel about them. You look at their face in movies or TV and you go, I don't like them. What do you mean you don't like them? You don't like their acting? The face. I don't like. You know what I mean?
I get it.
So it literally is just the sound of his voice. Well, and it doesn't. It wasn't something that would drive me to the radio to talk about it for an hour unless you guys insist on that.
No. We're going to just do another 5 minutes on this, and then we're going to move on because he's calling in.
Okay, great.
We don't want you leaving or any of that because we want you here for Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold.
All right. Let's say hi to Rich Voss. Rich.
Hey, what's going on? I'll only talk to Kevin if he talks back to me as Christopher Walken.
Sure.
Here's the deal. You, when you had Anthony on your podcast, and listen, I've never given any thought about Kevin Poll in my life. I met you at another radio show, Bob and Tom, and I think we were cordial. You called in one day when Bonnie and I were on, and we didn't have a problem. And the thing is, you were interviewing Anthony, and at a minute and 28, you're like, so this Rich Voss, how about...
Minute 28? Wait a minute, I just want to write that down.
An hour and 28 minutes.
Okay.
You brought up my name.
I waited an hour and 28 minutes before I mentioned you? An hour 28. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't listen before that. I was told an hour and 28, so that's why I turned it on. And so how about this Rich Voss? And then you moved on to something else. And then back at an hour and 38, how about this Rich Voss? So obviously this was in your head. It was premeditated hostility.
Or he ran out of things to talk about.
I
was Richard.
An hour 28 doesn't sound like a burning topic to me. I'm sorry.
Right.
Do the math.
Okay, you brought it back. But you didn't say, I can't stand his voice. You said his slur, my speech impediment, and you said he should not be on radio. You said I should not be on radio.
Okay.
Why is he on radio?
All right.
So you're basically fucking with my livelihood. Okay, does that make sense? When you're putting out there to the public, I shouldn't be on radio.
I don't think it makes sense, Rich, but I certainly understand why you would feel that way.
Well, because you said it. Why the fuck? What else should I feel? Oh, hey, guess what? This guy just trashed me. Let's do backflips. Hey, kids, let's go out for dinner. Kevin Poll is trashing my affliction that I've had my whole life that I've dealt with, and I've come above it, and I've succeeded pretty well for a guy that has a speech impediment. Okay, but yet you, who I know nothing about, we've never had a problem. You find it. Hey, let me try to get Anthony to attack me. Who Anthony stuck up and said how funny I am on stage, and you kept going with. Yeah, his slur. Every time I hear him, I have to turn the fucking radio off. You know, the same hacky thing you said about Sam. When I hear him, I have to turn the radio off. So don't act like with this passive-aggressive fucking comeback that you weren't attacking me. Okay? That's what it was. It was pure, premeditated hostility. For some reason, I've never done anything to you. I've never worked with you. You never had to follow me because I could see that. If you had to follow me on stage, I could see hostility, because I'm not an easy act to follow, with a fucking Peter Falk impression, So I could see that. And Opie, the reason I'm not in there right now defending myself is because my wife is in L.A. I have to get my daughter up for school and take her to the bus.
All right, she's in college.
So you and Kevin are cool now.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like you haven't even thought about this.
That's right here. Well, no, it seems like everyone's cool now.
Opie, you're amazing.
Listen, okay. I'm just saying what I got out of what he said. If I took it wrong, if I took the fact that someone said you should not be on radio, your slur is not the way you sound, the way you talk is unlistenable. Well, if that was done in all fun, then I guess I gotta let it go. I mean, fun is fun.
Well, let Kevin respond, Rich.
Yeah, man.
He's actually sat here and just kind of took the beating. Let him respond.
Yeah, please.
I'm happy to let him have his time. It's very important.
Oh, thank you for giving me time on a radio show I've been doing for 13 years.
Rich, let him talk.
Respond. You
made your point, and I did stick up for your crappy voice. By the way, I stuck up for you. And I said and I also said you're a great radio broadcaster with no background in this type of thing, except for being on our show. But anyway, Kevin, go ahead.
Yeah, again, I'm amazed that that anyone gives a shit. I was on my own show where at very least I should be able to pretty much say whatever I want about whoever I want. The fact that it was an hour 28 suggests it wasn't a hot topic for me or anything I was dying to talk about. I don't tend to wait an hour and 28 minutes to talk about something that's a burning topic. And if I use the word speech impediment, I would love to hear that played back for me. That would shock me to no end.
To the core?
Not to the core, but to no end.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, my memory of it, which is questionable at best, is just that I was insisting that I couldn't stand the sound of your voice. And that's the beginning and end of it, by the way. The fact that you're now suggesting, and again, I would need it played back for me, that I said he should not be on radio. He should not have a career. Someone should stop this man from being a professional. That's kind of what it sounds like your argument is, which... Man, oh man, nobody gives a shit what I say, Rich. Honestly.
Okay. You didn't
say that.
He did. You said he shouldn't be on radio.
You didn't say it's my voice. You said his slur. When I hear his slur, you didn't say I shouldn't be on show. You said I shouldn't be on radio. That's all. That's what. If you said
again,
said, oh, that Daffy Duck fuck. If you said something like that, where it would have been funny, then hey, I would have let it go.
Yeah, I doubt I was trying to be funny. I'm sure I was trying to be hurtful.
Well, I don't know if you were trying to be funny. Why start now after 30 fucking years?
Right, right.
You attack you. Here's what I got.
Rich, that was kind of a funny line, though. You got to admit, that was really funny.
Yeah,
go ahead, Rich. Sorry.
Listen. I didn't have I don't like going to fucking. I'm 50-something years old.
I'm 57.
Years
Do you
young?
think I have? What's that?
Go
ahead. We're listening.
Do you think I woke up going, oh man, let me have fucking controversy with Kevin Poll+? Do you think I don't have other things in my fucking life to deal with? To have to worry about what someone's saying.
Well, you probably should have just let it go then. Let it go. Let it go.
Yeah.
If you don't really, care about Kevin Poll+, then
Again,
just let that stuff go.
I said something hurtful on my show. You said something hurtful on your show. Maybe it is over. I don't know.
Okay, I'll let it go. For me, I got out what I had to get out.
Okay.
I'm not going to stick up for myself, just
Kevin,
like you would. And for me, it's time to move on.
I respect that. I would stand up for myself if someone went out of their way to say something shitty about me. I would want people to know how I felt. Yeah, I don't have a problem with any of this.
Good. How long are you in New York, Kevin? I got an idea.
That's one of the
What's
greatest
wrong with having an idea?
segues. Oh. No, I'm here all week. As they say in the business, I'm here all week.
I really believe if Kevin did radio with Rich Voss, you both would have a really good time. How about that?
You know what? Listen.
Rich is the one who's angry. I don't know.
Right.
It's up to Rich.
I'm not angry because you know what? I just started dealing with this last night. I let it go now. If I would have loved to have been in studio and hashed it out. If they played back what you say, you would go, you know what? And I don't ever want people to go, oh, I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck about apologies. That's bullshit.
Very obvious when you cut me out of your film. Go ahead.
Who did I cut out? Norton?
Well, I'm in it a little bit, Rich.
By the way, the things on Twitter that you said that were quoting you, probably misquoting because Twitter can't be trusted for shit. Things that were said about me last night on your show, I would say we're more than even.
Wow.
That you vented pretty good last night, and are
you upset about those things?
No,
Kevin?
I haven't even mentioned them until now, just as a way to say, again, I said something hurtful on my show. You said hurtful things on your show. Would you say that's true?
I would say 100%. Yes.
Okay. Then I don't know what
Maybe.
more.
How about
to-
agree to disagree?
How
How about one of those?
No, I don't even think
What?
that's necessary.
No? Are you sure?
No, again, we said
I'm
hurtful
just trying
things.
to come up with a solution here.
Are you offended?
No. No one cares. Honestly, no one cares. Truly, no one cares. I love that you guys have made this into something other than Rich being able to say what a dick I am, and I think that's been said. Unless you wanted to say it some more. I mean, you know.
No.
I don't. And listen, I got it out.
The uncomfortableness is what I'm enjoying here.
Well, clearly, that's been.
I don't find it that uncomfortable, though.
That's on your resume.
Two guys
It's
giving
under
each other.
special skills.
But it's not even that bad. It's not even
It's
that
in my
uncomfortable.
film.
I know
It's in
it
my
is.
film that how uncomfortable you like to make
What,
people.
Rich?
As Anthony sits there with his hands on his pants.
Right. I don't even think it's that uncomfortable. And I really do believe, all kidding aside, if you guys did radio together, you'd probably have a really good time with it.
What
So
were
the
you
next
gonna say,
time
Rich?
you're in New York, Kevin, we're going to set this up.
Okay.
How's that sound? 'Cause
Whatever
we
you
might
guys,
not have time this
whatever
week.
you want to do.
But the next time you're in New York,
Whatever you want to do.
we're going to have a special show.
Okay.
Go ahead, Rich.
Why?
Sorry, I interrupted you.
I don't. It's all gone. I don't want to have to sit and fester and harbor resentments. I let my shit out. He said what he said. We're past it. No one's uncomfortable, which is not uncomfortable.
Just come in so I can do Columbo for you once.
Why would I?
Just so you can see the one eye move when I do it.
I'd rather hear my people be putting back on trains.
My
Not
people.
alone, Rich.
My people. Our people. Yeah.
Oh, are you one of? Oh, okay. See, now we're connecting in other ways.
Yeah.
Listen, for now, I have nothing bad to say about Kevin Poll+.
All right.
You know, for the rest of my life,
Wow.
it's all. Now you can finish your battle with Sam and move on with him.
Rich.
I am done. I am done.
Rich, I got a question before you hang up. Did you say
What's
last night if Kevin was funny at all, he would quit?
No, what the fuck?
I don't even know what that means.
Hold on. Let me go to Josh in Queens. Josh?
Hey guys, good morning.
Hello, Josh.
Yeah, if he was funny, why would he quit? I don't get that either.
I
But
didn't say that. No, that's not. No, I said.
all right, hold on. Let Josh. Go ahead, Josh.
What Rich said last night, and I think Sam was in the studio, is that if Kevin, he was so sure that Kevin wasn't funny in his own movie, that Rich would pick a date to cancel, or he said he would quit comedy for a night.
Rich said
For a night?
Yeah, Rich, it was a joke.
Yeah, he said that.
You mean he'd take a night off?
I defended Kevin Pollak on this point because you're not supposed to be funny in this movie, really. You're the narrator.
I'm not in the movie. I mean, I purposely am
You're
not
not
in the
even
movie.
really a narrator. You're the
No, you hear
the
my
interviewer.
voice. You hear my voice
Behind the
on a
camera.
very few occasions.
Right, just to kind of direct.
there's
direct what's.
unlike Michael Moore and Mr. Spurlock, who I respect. I didn't need to be the centerpiece of the documentary.
Basically, Kevin is saying that unlike them, he's not a self-centered ass, and it was about.
No,
everything
I
else.
do
It's okay,
find
fair
that
enough.
self-serving for sure.
Why didn't you put yourself in the movie, knowing that you have a lot of experience as a stand-up?
I edited the film, so my opinion is the movie.
I hear.
If you want an answer,
That's true.
But what are your?
I made every choice of what's in the film.
But it would have been.
That's my opinion.
It would have been interesting to
I find
hear
everybody
what you had to say about some of this stuff.
I don't think so.
Once
Again,
you're in Casino and The Usual Suspects, you don't need to you don't.
No, I
it's not
wanted to
that
direct
need.
the film. You've directed short videos. You know what it's like. If you want to
it's
direct,
just like
if you-
Misery Loves Comedy.
No, but if you want to direct something, you want to direct it. You want to,
I hear you.
So I thought I'll ask the questions. And my producers, believe me, they were asking this question rather sternly. Why aren't you in the fucking movie? And I said, because then I'm making, suggesting and asking people to give a shit about what I think. Whereas behind it, I can now state the film is my opinion on all this stuff.
I understand your point.
Yeah.
I do understand
and
your
everybody in the
point.
movie, I carefully had to get and ask, to get all those people in a movie is ridiculous.
How'd you get Tom Hanks? That's a big.
The only way to get all of them is to not pay them. That would be my suggestion to any filmmaker out there. The way to get famous people in your movie is to not pay them.
because you can't afford them once
No.
it starts.
Can't afford them, and also I didn't have to deal with a single agent or a manager. I just got everyone to sign a release.
And just said
That's
it's just an interview.
Yeah, no, I told them it's going to be a movie.
No.
Like,
I mean,
yeah.
you're only doing an interview. You're not acting. You're only doing a.
Yeah, just answer these questions. Are you comfortable with that? Yes, here we go. And then it was a matter of, well, then I care way more about what they all have to say than what I give a shit
Well, we
about.
couldn't do that movie. Yeah, it's also the relationships you've made over the last 30 some odd years, whatever.
Right.
there's no way. Hey, Tom, we're doing a documentary and we're not going to pay you. So when can we come over and film you?
Well, Woody Allen pays scale to everyone. I think that's why Tom Cruise wouldn't do anything. But it's like that's almost the same as not paying people. Everyone gets this, and that's it. If you want to do
Tom Cruise?
Well, no, actually, it is still different. Only because even if you're paying them scale, you still have to deal with agents and managers. That was my main reason to make the sort of point of but that's a documentary in general. When documentaries don't pay people, they just everyone.
So you went right to Tom.
Rich, is your tea time at 8:30?
Yeah, no, it's at 9. Listen, in my head, this is squashed. If you don't believe me, you can come to McGuire's in Bohemia, Long Island.
Nice, I love it.
I think it's completely gone. I let it go. Hopefully, good luck with your movie. I know how hard it is to make those. Good luck, and
thank you.
If we see each other, I'll let you hang out with me. That's what I'll do.
All the very best to you as well. Wow. I can't believe you let me hit that button.
The great Rich Voss. If he's still listening, the show last night was really, really good with Judy Gold. So.
Yeah.
All right. See, there you go. That was easy, right, Kevin?
Yeah. Yeah, and clearly necessary. So, and again, it's your show. I can't believe anyone gives a shit, but you guys do, and I'm happy to participate in allowing Rich to vent. Listen, it was clearly important to let this happen, and I hope everyone's okay.
I don't
think you got enough pain.
I didn't even know this was going on until Sam brought the audio clip.
Yeah, I didn't know until this morning, honestly. You and Vaughn. You and Sam, I knew.
Well, I woke up to Twitter telling me what to expect, basically.
I did not know about...
Yeah. In fact, I wrote a text to you, Opie, and then I decided not to send it.
We should have had some Kevin Pollak clips ready.
No. No, I think it's important to show that I be held up for accountability and scrutiny the way I have.
Is there a whole list of people you don't like because of their voices? For real?
Not a whole list. No. But there's some.
Who else?
But the point I was making about actors or actresses in movies or TV that you just don't like their face.
Right. Yeah.
Honestly, can you relate to that?
Yes.
That's all I'm saying about Rich and his voice. It's not about the content. It's not about a speech impediment. It's just a sound.
I could see a person for the first time and go, oh yeah, I'll never like that person.
Right?
Just realize it's a mirror.
and never have a conversation with that person. But there's just something in you like, I would never like that person.
It had nothing to do with content or who they are or what they believe or what they think is funny.
And with Sam, is it a voice thing too, or is it more of a content thing? Because you're a listener to the show.
Well, there's more than... he's publicly made it clear that it's a lot more than the voice thing.
Okay.
Listen, I phoned in. Did we spend like 2 hours on the phone together?
It was a long time.
Sam's still mad about it.
No, I guess...
Which is okay.
The latest thing, though, I think Sam told me that you did an AMA and the number one question was about Sam.
Well, of course.
Yeah. That's so funny, man.
What did they ask you?
With everything you've done in your career, you had to deal with the Sam question on your AMA.
Well, and it is the number one upvoted question.
That speaks of the popularity of your show.
Wow.
No, clearly.
Kevin Pollak. Nice.
No, but what else could it have been?
Was it an anonymous thing? Why don't you like my Sam, Mrs. R?
Yeah. So in answering it, I knew I was asking for more trouble, but I still had to answer.
What was the question?
The publicist, I don't know. The publicist on the phone who was running the thing said, this question keeps coming up. And I said, well, then we better address it.
Oh, that's funny.
What is the question? And then, she read it to me, and I said, oh, all right. Well, then I'll have to say something mean, and then he'll be upset. And
let me ask you a question.
This will be fun.
I've done AMAs before. I'm doing one tomorrow. But did you have her? Because I literally just got a cortisone shot, and I'm thinking of hiring someone to type for 2 hours because I know that there's going to be a lot of shitty questions coming in, so I would like to address them. So I'm actually thinking of getting someone to type and inviting me on the show to do it, but I can't. I have just too much other press, like just places to go right after. I don't know, explain what press is, you all. But I want to get someone to actually type it, so I can get someone to...
Because you'd be able to answer more stuff.
Yeah, and I can actually type fairly well for a fucking dumb comic who never... Because I remember in high school, A, N, D.
The typing class in high school.
It's
guaranteed A, first of all. right? The easy A, they said, take typing in high school. And thank God.
I took it.
Who knew it would be so damn important?
You start thinking in terms of typing. Like when I hear the word "and," I go, left pinky, right pointer finger, left middle finger. And it's you start thinking in terms of that. It never. I can't believe that stuck with me.
I was shitty at it, but I got enough out of it that it helps me to this day.
Oh, well, yeah.
But at the time, I'm like, why would you force anyone to take a typing class?
Yeah.
You're right. We didn't see the importance of it.
I'm not going to be a secretary. Right?
Yeah, that's exactly how I think everyone felt, and now I couldn't be more happy that I was
forced. It was the strangest thing, because
to learn cutie.
Yeah, they didn't know the future, that we'd all be, it would be important.
But is there anyone out there, like, I want to bring someone over, but
do that. It's worth it, whatever it costs. It's worth it.
I checked on Craigslist last night. It was the first time I ever gone on Craigslist, like, for a legitimate. I was like, wow, there are other things on here, and I couldn't find a good typist. And I emailed one person, and they did like 60 to 70. I'm like, that's not. I want someone that can type fucking quick.
You need a typist with an extra part.
Yeah.
No, I would actually prefer a woman.
TaskRabbit?
No,
well, there's all kinds of these apps now where you can like hire basically an assistant to run an errand for you, and I'm sure you could get someone to come by the apartment for a couple of hours.
That's all I want for legitimate typing.
Yeah.
And possibly
TaskRabbit, I think, is the name of the app.
E-Rock said he'll do it, but I don't know if you could.
I can type pretty fast, yeah.
No, but I could type pretty fast, too. Like, I did my last credits, and I can go through it.
Why don't we test out E-Rock?
But I want someone who can type for a typist, like a professional typist. You're not a typist.
Okay.
Let's test out E-Rock. I want to see how fast he can type.
Could you think of things that you would want E-Rock to type?
Yeah, I can. Yes, I can.
E-Rock, can you come in so we can test your typing?
Come on, we're going to test your typing.
Yeah, let's
test E-Rock's typing. Let's get the heat off Kevin for a little while.
And come down, by the way, tonight I'm doing me and Lewis Black, I think, Lewis and I. Is Lewis doing it tonight?
He is doing it, and
I'd like to go, for real. I've been suffering from horrible allergies. This season's brutal. I would like to step up and go, for real.
So we'll see how you're feeling, or this is just you're saying no.
No. I'm going to try.
Oh, good.
No, I'm not just. I say that sometimes on the radio just to make the person feel good, but in this case, I really want to go.
All right, cool. And so then I'll get Anthony as well, and we'll make a thing of it.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure Ant will go to one of them. There's a couple. There's tonight. I know that there's Friday and Saturday at Tribeca.
Yeah.
So they're all really.
And what's happening tonight?
Friday and Saturday is IFC theater, and tonight is the Tribeca screening of the film.
Think Bobby D's going to show up?
Bobby, I don't know.
Think so? Maybe come down and see me do my Q&A.
Yeah, man, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Does he go to anything of these screenings?
He was at the Osbournes premiere, but
good.
briefly in and out for pictures. Like, he didn't stop.
Yeah.
They asked me if I wanted to meet him, and I was like, thank you, no.
It's an impossible thing. It's daunting at this point with all the films. I don't know how many films there are, but it's got to be
never gone
a crazy number.
It's fun.
I've never gone. How many of the guys from the film are going to be down there tonight? Jimmy?
You know, the weird thing was, to be honest with you, at some point I felt like I had overstayed my welcome of hassling people.
So you didn't want to ask a lot?
I only needed a couple, and Jimmy was stepped up immediately. Thank you so damn much. No, honestly and truly, because I felt like I didn't want to bug people anymore. I bugged everyone to be in the thing. I bugged everyone to tweet about the iTunes. I bugged everyone. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck. So when Lewis Black said yes, now that I had my two, and now I could basically stop bugging people.
Are you going to talk about the film beforehand?
Well, there's a Q&A afterwards. That's what this is about. So I'll intro it. Hey, everyone, thank you for coming. Please enjoy the film. And then there'll be a Q&A afterwards.
Oh, awesome.
Do I have to wear a suit? I won't have a suit on.
No, you don't.
Okay.
Dear God. No.
What time we have to be there?
Please don't wear a suit.
All right.
I don't know.
Hey, are you really good friends with Arnold?
Pretty good. Yeah, I was at his 50th birthday party. That was fun. We had just done a movie, End of Days, together, so we got kind of friendly. Right. The way you do when you know you're working 12 or 14-hour days, 5 days a week for 3 months, you get into this rhythm, and these people become a part of your life for a very short period, and then usually you never see them again. And in the case of Arnold, he would call up every now and then. He's that kind of guy, which struck me as amazing and cool and surprising, of course. When anyone, again, gives a shit, negative or positively, about me, it's always surprising. And so, yeah, I went to his 50th, and I went to another thing at some charity event about four months ago or so. I remember he called me after he was governor for a brief time.
Jeez.
I know.
Are you freaked out? Come on.
Sure.
I
used to do a thing in my act about him being the epitome of living the American dream. right? He comes over to the country.
Doesn't speak the language.
Doesn't speak the language. He became at the top of the bodybuilding world and became, I think, more of a celebrity from that world than anyone ever had.
Right.
Right? And then marries a Kennedy. I mean, honestly, I don't know how that's how I was raised. Make money and marry a Kennedy. I think
Wait till he comes in, I'm going to call him the governor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, it took me forever to learn the impression. And someone, you know, Mars Callahan, Pool Hall Junkies?
No.
He came up, there's always some little term or phrase that keys you into the impression, and I found for Schwarzenegger, you just have to say, there is a bomb in there. And if you say those words, it's a bomb in there. Right?
Right.
It's a little term.
I would say that.
There's a bomb in there.
Hey, Arnold, there's a bomb in there. I'm going to say it when he comes in.
All right.
It's going to go nuts.
Iraq, what do you got?
Should we ask Iraq? Should someone call up and suggest what he types? 'Cause I don't know what the AMA question will be. So maybe someone on the phone can suggest.
Jimmy, what do you think about how much Sam and Kevin hate each other?
I think it's kind of interesting.
What are you typing?
What are you doing? That's the answer. You're not typing.
Just stared at Jimmy.
Take two. Let's do it again. Jimmy, how do you feel about how much Sam and Kevin hate each other?
I think it's very interesting the way these two interact, and they really didn't know each other that well. And I think a lot of it started because E-Rock didn't do what he was supposed to do, and I think that Sam.
All right, he stopped.
Got a blowout.
He got. I think it's very interesting on how these two interact.
I think it's very on those two interact. Cool. What about the rest of it?
That his brain blew up.
Why?
Because you were purposely going really fast.
All right,
you know what? You're right. I didn't mean.
I was talking when I did mine. Yeah, when I was doing mine, I was literally talking like I was at the UN and the headsets. So I feel
you're right.
like it's probably important.
Yeah, let's see if he can keep
that
up.
day.
Okay, let's erase that. Let's start over.
Speak like you know
on purpose.
Speak like you know someone's typing for you.
You're right.
Yeah.
I'm so used to typing myself.
And you want to be represented correctly.
Yes. I'm the typing kid.
Speak at that speed.
Okay, so the question?
Yeah. Yes. In case anyone's forgotten. Why is it that Sam and Kevin hate each other so much? What do you think?
I think that Kevin does not like Sam, not necessarily because of the sound of his voice, but because he feels that Sam picks on Eric. And granted, E-Rock is
very astute.
An incompetent fool who blunders constantly and plays the wrong clips and basically does nothing helpful for the radio show, period. However, I feel that as a semi-retarded man, he should be treated with kid gloves.
All right, his brain blew up again.
No, you're actually making him laugh.
This is what he got, though. I think that Kevin does not like Sam, not necessarily because of the sound of his voice, but that Sam picks on Eric, who is an incompetent fool who blunders and plays the wrong clips. So he did.
That's not bad.
He didn't do too bad.
And only one word misspelled.
You need to find someone else, Jim Norton, for your AMA.
You think
What is that, tomorrow night?
Get the app
tomorrow afternoon
at 4. I want to say I'm doing Hannity at 2:05. 4 o'clock is the AMA.
And he's got to compete. His comedy specials on Epics this Friday, Kevin Poll+.
We're going to try this.
I
Can
would
we try
love
one more
to
time?
tweet about that.
Yeah, I'm going to ask people to tweet it when it comes out.
Anyway, I
And
can
I
help
hope
because I've
everyone
been
does.
asking people like crazy for favors.
But he has to compete with the Bruce Jenner thing. That's Friday as well.
What is the Bruce Jenner thing?
Exactly.
You're
no one's paying
kidding.
attention.
Well,
We're promoting it more than anyone.
what is he doing?
The big reveal on ABC.
He's
Is it
showing his
ABC?
pecker.
Sorry, reveal? What don't
Well, he's going to talk about his journey.
Oh, he's going to speak finally.
You have no idea that the Bruce Jenner
That's
interview
on a
Friday?
need-to-care basis.
He doesn't care.
No kidding.
Yeah,
you are
yeah.
famous.
No,
You're a real famous guy.
All right, let's do another question because people are going to ask.
Okay.
Did we mention the documentaries on iTunes?
Yeah, it is, and also
Okay, cool.
on demand. You can, if you Google
Video
it
on
in
demand,
quotes-
any cable system and Amazon and iTunes.
Yeah, it had a very different feel
Misery
than a
Loves
lot of the
Comedy.
comedy documentaries I've seen. Honestly, I mean, and I only watched a little bit of it just to make sure that I came off well.
As long as it's not horrible.
Okay.
That's anybody's fear.
Say that again?
As long as it's not horrible.
That's all that matters.
What?
The documentary. Honestly.
No, it's great.
As long as it's not horrible.
Okay, so
It was
maybe
very
somebody will ask a
interesting.
chip question. People are going to ask chip questions. You know when you do chip, you got to go TSS for TIS. So people are going to ask a chip question.
Chipper, why do you suppose Sam and Kevin hate each other so much?
I think it's because E-Rock's a fucking piece of garbage. And I think E-Rock's a fucking piece of garbage. Type faster. Put your hands up. We're ready. You fucking piece of garbage. Look at his big, dumb, fucking fat fingers like hooves. Piece of garbage.
He misspelled E-Rock. That's weird.
Yeah.
Totally kidding.
Threw me off.
Dumb fat fingers. Yeah.
His fucking hands are shaking. What do you got, pocket Tourette's?
What? Wait.
I just noticed the Rock's hands were shaking, so I wanted to videotape it.
Yeah, you're going to have to hire a professional. Why don't we take a break? You got to post that. Kevin Pollak is in studio. You're hanging for the whole show, right?
Please, yes.
Oh, good. All right. So, the big headline here: Misery Loves Comedy, available on iTunes now in selected theaters this Friday. But that's only the big cities. We talked to the whole country, Kevin Pollak.
I know. I'm very excited.
So, most of the people should go to iTunes to download Misery Loves Comedy. Is that that's
Yes,
it?
please. Thank you.
Anything else?
No, I mean, there's other things, but this is really what I'm hammering.
You still with your
thank
gal?
you. Yes, she says hello, and I just took a picture of E-Rock for her because that T-shirt for the mansion, they're Disney nerds.
She's a super fan, right?
She's a Disney nerd. Oh, super fan of the show, yeah.
Wow, that's so cool.
No, her and the research producer for the Chat Show, J-Mac, turned me on to the thing years and years ago, and yeah, it's all their fault. It's all their fault that I'm eating shit today.
You're not eating shit.
Well,
No, it's very good.
A little bit.
You need these.
By the way, it was necessary, and I feel like I got off easy, so I'm happy.
You got to air these things
You were
out.
thrown under the bus a little bit.
I don't mind.
But you're one of the guys.
I don't mind. I feel like I'm a made
maybe I
man
shouldn't
now.
say that.
No, don't say that.
Oh, no.
No, don't say that.
I shouldn't have said that.
I know
Sorry.
your loyalty is to Sam, and by the way, it
Rich
should be for fuck's sake.
No, Rich doesn't think that you're one of the guys, and I just said you're one of the guys.
I think that Kevin's one of the guys.
I don't
one of the
have
guys.
I don't have to be.
I think you are.
It's great to see you guys and do the show. I don't have to be one of the guys.
All right. Sam's
I'd like
crucifixion
to
next.
be.
I think you are.
Okay.
Yeah, you're one of the guys. Well, what?
Yes, I said I was trying to go to break with Sam's crucifixion next.
Kevin could be, our most famous fan.
Hold on a second. Let me talk to no button hitting motherfucker in the other room. All right, let's do this again.
That was a perfect out.
I
really
know
was.
it would have been. How about this?
Okay.
When we come back.
More with Opie and Jim after this.
All right, this is the announcement that you have been waiting for. It is here. The new color for Mother's Day 2015 of Steven Singer's famous Gold Dip Rose is pink champagne. Give her a rose that is the perfect symbol of love and appreciation. Can you imagine the perfect gift for Mother's Day at the perfect price, starting at just $59? This real long stem rose is lavishly and deeply dipped in 24-karat pure gold, and it's guaranteed to last forever. So why talk about Mother's Day now? Well, Steven Singer sells out of this gift every year, and he wants to make sure you get the first shot at ordering his brand new color, pink champagne. It's beautiful. Limited quantities are available, so order yours today. Choose delivery closer to Mother's Day and guarantee you'll have the newest rose color for all of the moms in your life. Steven, he makes it so easy. Each rose comes shipped in a beautiful gold gift box with your very own personalized gift message. You can go online right now, IHateStevenSinger.com, and you can check out the roses for yourself. Reserve yours today. Steven Singer Jewelers, one place, one price, IHateStevenSinger.com.
When the show's not on the air, keep up with all that's going on in the world of Opie and Jim Norton. Follow them on Twitter at Opie Radio, and at Jim Norton.
Twitter's just a shitty place. If you hate